Alright, so the beginning of 3.5 I thought was a little redundant because the get started activity was just talking about solving algebraic equations. So hopefully I'm not going to mess you up by skipping that. If I am, then you can private message me or whatever and we can deal with it. What I'd like to do is get started on construct understanding, and this one is sort of the last half of the construct understanding on page 236. It's at the bottom, and it gives you this graph where it tells you this line is y equals 2x plus 4, and this line is y equals 1/2 x minus 2. They've drawn a line right along the y equals x line. So basically it's like they're making a new axis for the graph, and it goes right up the middle. 1 and 1, well this is 2 and 2, 1 and 1, 2 and 2, 3 and 3, 4 and 4, 6 and 6, 8 and 8. All of those points would be boom, 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 right along this line because y equals x. They're equal. Same thing going along this way. So this unit is going to be talking quite a bit about the y equals x line and how inverse graphs work. The way that inverse graphs work is you're switching your x and y values. You're literally reversing the points. So if we were to look at this graph and make a list of the points for, y equals 2x plus 4 as opposed to y equals 1/2 x minus 2, then I'm going to look at graphs, and on this line here I can see that I have the point 0 and 4. Right? X is 0, y is 4. But on this line, I have the point 4 and 0. So you see how the points are switched, x and y. Now they both share the point -4 and -4, and that's because if you have a point where the same numbers are the same, then they're the same. It doesn't matter if you switch them. But you can see these other 2 points here. This one is at -2 and 0. So that's for this line, -2 and 0. But on this line, I have a 0 and -2. So you get the idea. If 2 graphs are inverse of each other, it means their x and y's are switched. Now there's one more little trick. If I take and switch these guys in the formula, I should be able to come up with that equation. So if I were to take y equals 2x plus 4 and change it so that x equals 2y plus 4, then algebraically, and that's why they did the get started thing, you're going to be able to switch this around to make it equal to y, and then see if it's the same as that equation. So I've switched my x and y values, now I'm going to rearrange it. My plus 4 comes over as an x minus 4 equals 2y, and then because this is multiplied by 2, I'm just going to divide everything by 2. So that means x over 2, or 1/2 x, minus 4 over 2 is 2 equals y. So is that the same as that? Yes, it is. All I did was switch my x and y and then make it equal to y again. This is the basic concept of this whole unit, is just that you have this inverse relationship where x and y get switched, and if you look at it visually on the graph, you will see that the axis of symmetry is actually right up the middle of x equals y. If I were to take this and put it on a piece of paper and use wet ink and make this line and then fold it along here, squish it together, open it up again, this would be the exact perfect mirror image of this over the x equals y axis. That's pretty much 3.5 in a nutshell.